fair. I don't know what day this program will be, but if this program is before the beginning of June, then I'll be in the book fair in Madrid, in the Feria Libro in Retiro, the 1st of June, the 8th of June, and the 15th, I think. Let me check. Let me make sure. So you can come and say hello. Let's see. The 1st, the 8th, and the 15th. 1-8-15, 1-8-15. 12 a 13:30. From 12 midday to 13:30. From 12 to 1:30. Sunday the 1st, Sunday the 8th, and Sunday the 15th. And I'll be signing books. You can buy these books, or you can buy other books. You can buy my autobiography, De Texas a España. Very interesting autobiography, better in español. Lo escribí en español. And things. But in any case, so I hope to see you in La Feria. All right. So, expressions. Page 178. Today, 2 of the expressions are, 3 of the 4 expressions are British. The first one, I think I've heard it, but I've never used it, but I think I've heard it. On tender hooks. Hook is gancho, como el Capitán Garfio. Captain Hook, gancho, garfio, anzuelo. A hook. All right. I'm hooked, estoy enganchado. I'm hooked. I'm hooked como es una adicción. I'm addicted. I'm hooked. But on tender hooks means en un sin vivir. Desde el martes hemos estado en un sin vivir, esperando conocer los resultados. We've been on tender hooks. Estamos colgados en... Tender is tierno. No sé, I don't know what tender hooks are. It's a British expression. I've never used it. To be on tender hooks. Yes, we've been anticipating with a lot of nerves. Nervously anticipating. Un sin vivir. All right. No me dejes en un sin vivir. Y avísame cuando te contesten. Don't leave me on tender hooks. And let me know when you hear back from them. Cuando tengas noticias suyas. When you hear from them or hear back. To hear from them es cuando tienes noticias suyas. When you hear back from them, cuando vuelven a ponerse en contacto contigo. To hear back from them. The next one, on the ball. Espabilado. Ser despabilado. ¿Tú dices despabilado o espabilado? El segundo. Sin embargo, la palabra originalmente es despabilado. ¿Lo sabías? ¿No? Y aquí dice despabilado. Pero when I came to Spain, I heard despabilado. 10 years later, espabilado. Espabilate. It's despabilate. All right. And of course, I have my university degree. My college degree is in Spanish literature. Despabilado in literature. Yes. To be on the ball, estar en la pelota, estar en la bola, estar en el balón. You have several words for ball. Yes. El esférico. It's funny when they're talking about football, and they say el esférico. I remember a Finnish girl, una chica finlandesa, 15 años tenía. And she's only been living in Spain for 6 or 7 months. But she was speaking Spanish well. And she was saying el histérico, instead of el esférico. Okay, the ball. In English we say the ball. Pelota de golf is a golf ball. Balón de fútbol is a football. All right. Pelota de baseball is a baseball. Ball. To have a ball is pasarse la pipa. To have a ball. To have a ball. Now, to be on the ball is very common. You need to be on the ball. Tienes que estar espabilado y encima de todo. Yes. Ella es muy espabilada. Está siempre dispuesta a ayudar. She's very on the ball and always ready to help. To be on the ball. Se usa muchísimo. To be on the ball. Yes. On the bread line, en la línea del pan. On the bread line, está en la miseria. O sea, está en cola para comprar pan fuera. You know, como la sopa. Soup kitchens. In the United States, during the Great Depression in the 1930s, they had soup kitchens. Cocinas para tomar sopa. Había colas of people. Because there were so many, 30% of the American population was, of the American active population was unemployed in 1932-33. All right. And there were bread lines, líneas para que te den un poco de pan. Bread lines. Now, on the bread line is estar en la miseria. Es muy triste saber que tantas familias están en la miseria. It's so sad to know that so many families are on the bread line. It's a British expression, not American, on the bread line. And finally, on the dole. Esto es muy corriente en Reino Unido e Irlanda. On the dole. In the United States, no. On the dole means estás en paro. Cobrando el subsidio de desempleo. Cobrar el paro. On the dole. To be on the dole. Escrito dole. L es simple. To be on the dole is to be receiving unemployment compensation. Here in Spain, there are a lot of people on the dole. A lot of people. And normally the unemployment period in which you receive compensation can reach 24 months. In the United States, I think it's 16 weeks. 16 semanas, no. 24 meses. That means you need to find a job. It's a very dynamic labor market. In Europe, no. The labor market is sclerotic. And one of the reasons is because you have 24 months of unemployment compensation. To be on the dole. How many people in Spain are on the dole? I don't know. 2 million? 1 million? 1.5 million? 3 million? I really don't know. I'm not following the macroeconomic indicators. So I don't know how many people in Spain are on the dole. But quite a few. Bastantes. Quite a few. Okay, gain fluency. Page 93 in the middle. In the middle, not at the top nor at the bottom, but in the middle. 856. Micro paragraph 856. Wow. A lot of work. A lot of work. 856. The trouble with Harry is that he thinks he knows more than the rest of us. Don't get me wrong, Harry's a smart guy. Smarter than a lot of people, but he's no Albert Einstein, eh? All right. The trouble with Harry. Hay una película que se llama El problema con no sé qué persona. The trouble with. There's a movie called The Trouble With, pero Harry no is another name. The trouble with Marta, the trouble with Peter, the trouble with John. The trouble with Harry, is that he thinks he knows more than the rest of us. The rest of us. Eso, el resto of us, ¿qué es? The rest of us, el resto de nosotros. The rest of you, el resto de vosotros. The rest of you, the rest of them, el resto de ellos. Y el resto de nosotros, the rest of us. The rest of you, the rest of them, the rest of us. Son los tres, that's the only three options. No puedo decir el resto de mí. No. The rest of me, no. Bueno, aquí, te doy mi brazo. No te doy el resto de mí. Okay, I'll give you my arm. I won't give you the rest of me. Entonces, con calzador se puede decir. The rest of us. The rest of us. So, the trouble with Harry is that he thinks he knows more than the rest of us. Yeah, Cree que sabe más que el resto de nosotros. Este es superior. Se cree superior. The trouble with Harry is that he thinks he knows more than the rest of us. Don't get me wrong, eh? Harry's a smart guy. Don't get me wrong. Esta expresión, esta frase, no me malinterpretes. Entiéndeme. Don't get me wrong. Wrong means no me des por equivocado. Ojo. Don't get me wrong. Means entiéndeme. No me malinterpretes. Listo, sí lo es. Harry's a smart guy. Yes. Smarter than a lot of people. But he's no Einstein. He's no Albert Einstein. Pero Einstein no es. Pero no es un Einstein. All right. He's no Albert Einstein. He is no, se dice así. Yes. He's no Albert Einstein. He's no Julius Caesar. He's no Napoleon Bonaparte. No. Yes. So, let's see. The trouble with Harry is that he thinks he knows more than the rest of us. Don't get me wrong. Harry's a smart guy. Smarter than a lot of people. Más listo que muchos. Mucha gente. Smarter than a lot of people. He's a smart guy. Smart is espabilado y listo. Smart. Don't get me wrong. Harry's a smart guy. Smarter than a lot of people. But he's no Albert Einstein, eh? All right. The next one, page 93, paragraph 857. First, you need to insert the card. First, you need to insert the card in the slot where it says insert card. Okay. Once you do that, a message will appear on this little screen here asking you if you're a gold card member. All right. Yes. First, you need to insert the card. This card, First, you need to insert the card. In the slot, no? Slot is ranura. Slot. Como lot, con ese. First, you need to insert the card in the slot where it says insert card. Debajo de inserte tarjeta. Tienes que insertarlo donde dice inserte tarjeta. Oh, okay. First, you need to insert the card in the slot where it says insert card. All right. Once you do that, una vez hecho eso, once you do that, a message will appear on the little screen. Hay una pantallita aquí. A message will appear on the little screen asking you if you're a gold card member. Si soy miembro o socio de tarjeta de oro. The first thing, are you a gold card member? But I'm not a gold card member. Well, in that case, push this button, not the gold card member button. All right. So, first you need to insert the card where in the slot, where it says insert card. All right. Once you do that, once you do that, a message will appear on this little screen, you see, on this little screen here, asking you if you're a gold card member. And if you're not a gold card member, esa parte no viene aquí. If you're not a gold card member, you have to push this button and you have to pay. If you're a gold card member, you don't have to pay. All right, page 93. 858. How much time, Marta? I think we have quite a bit. We still have quite a bit of time. Yes, we still have quite a bit of time. After all these years, After all these years, I still don't understand why so many people look for the lowest price when it's so clear, at least to me, the cheapest options end up being the most expensive. Yes. You have an expression in Spanish, lo barato sale caro. ¿Conoces la expresión? O lo barato es caro, lo barato sale caro. Normally it's true. Not always, okay? In my business, yes. In English instruction, yes. 98% of the time. The cheaper, the more expensive. Because the only thing that counts is the result. You need a result. Okay, so efficiency is not the question. Effectiveness. Effectiveness. And normally in my business, lo barato sale caro. Yeah, cheap is more expensive than expensive. All right. People say to me, "Oye, Richard, eres muy caro. Tus clases son muy..." And I said, "Yo no, soy el más barato." Dice, "No, anda ya." No. What do you want? Do you want English classes? Or do you want to learn English? Which? Well, learn English, of course. And I'm the cheapest. I'm the cheapest. To reach point B, from point A to point B, yeah, I'm the cheapest. Because you reach point B. With the others, you reach point A como tres. My car, if you buy my car, it will take you from Madrid to Barcelona, no problem. If you buy those other cars, they're cheaper, but the cars will not reach Calatayud. The car will die in Calatayud. Of course, it's cheaper, but you don't reach Barcelona. With me, yes. So I'm cheaper. Lo único que cuenta es el resultado final. All right? Pagando menos, no vas a llegar. It's true in my business. 99% of the time, it's true. So, after all these years, después de todos estos años, sigo sin entender. I still don't understand why so many people look for the lowest price when it's so clear, at least to me, the cheapest options end up being the most expensive. Yeah, it's true in many, many cases. In many cases, it's true. The cheapest software many times doesn't work very well. The cheapest. But in any case, after all these years, I still don't understand. Todavía no entiendo. Sigo sin entender why so many people look for the lowest price. Cuando está tan claro, al menos para mí, when it is so clear, at least to me, the cheapest options end up being the most expensive. Las opciones más baratas acaban por ser, o acaban siendo, las más caras. The cheapest options end up coming. Terminarán estando de acuerdo conmigo. They will end up agreeing with me. The cheapest options end up being the most expensive. And this is usually true. This is usually not always. There are some surprising and wonderful exceptions. But usually be careful. Lo barato sale caro suele ser. Is usually true. Okay, page 93. The next to last paragraph. My great aunt... This is true. This is true. Mi tía abuela. Materna. my mother's aunt, Margaret. Her name was Margaret. My great aunt was a wonderful lady. She worked for 30 years as a receptionist in a well-known funeral home. Her job was to receive families and friends and cry with them. All right, this is true. Austin, Texas. Austin, the capital. And for 30 or 40 years, Margaret, my aunt, was the receptionist in a funeral home. Kind of pompas fúnebres, casa. It's different. In the United States, it's totally different. In Spain, when a person dies, you have 24 hours, 48 hours to the tanatorio and to bury or to cremate. In the United States, no. When a person dies, you contact a funeral home, a private business. And the funeral home comes, takes the body, embalms the body. And so for 5 days, 6 days, the body is in the funeral home, and people come to visit, to say goodbye. Then the funeral home prepares everything, the funeral and the burial. And then they take the body to the church, if it's a church funeral, and the body's in the church. Eso lo ves en las pelis, ¿Sabes? And the people come to the church service, and they have the church service in honor of the person. And then they go to the cemetery in a line of cars, and they have the burial, el entierro, the burial. It's a different process than here in Spain. Here in Spain, they bury or cremate the body in 48 hours, very quickly. Then 1 week later, perhaps there is a funeral mass, una misa funerario or something, a funeral mass. Pero no hay cuerpo presente. In the state, in the U.S., yes. Now, my great aunt, great uncle, tío abuelo, great aunt, tía abuela. My great aunt she worked as a receptionist in a funeral home. And of course, families came to visit their loved one, su ser querido. And for 30 years, my great aunt received these people and was basically public relations. And she always went with them, to cry, to cry with them and things every day, every day. And she was very much loved. Everybody, probably 30% of the people in Austin, Texas, knew who my great aunt was. Austin has grown a lot. Austin is a very popular city. It's the new Silicon Valley, is Austin. People are moving from California to Austin. And however, and now the population of Austin is perhaps 1 million people. Greater Austin, maybe 2 million. Greater Austin. But Austin proper is Austin. No, Austin, zona metropolitana. The metropolitan area, no, Austin. Probably 1 million. But 60, 70 years ago, it was 150,000. So it's relatively small. 150,000. However, it's the home of the University of Texas, very important university. And it's, of course, the capital. So you have the Capitol building, you have the Senate, the House of Representatives, you have a lot of lawyers. Very interesting city. Austin, Texas is a very interesting city. And so for 35 years, I think, Margaret, my great aunt, was the receptionist at a funeral home, Cook Walden Funeral Home. And it was an important funeral home in Austin, so maybe 20 or 30% of the people in Austin, at different moments, used the services of the funeral home, and so Margaret was the receptionist. Everybody knew her. Everybody knew Margaret. Okay, one more. Page 93, at the bottom. Not in the middle, nor at the top, but at the bottom. How much time do we have? Ooh, I'm not going to finish this today. There are 3 trillion trees on the planet Earth. 3 trillones de árboles hay en el planeta Tierra, on the planet Earth. But I'll come back tomorrow to tell you about the 3 trillion trees. Take care.